Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti 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 Tejasvinavadhitamastu. May we all shine. Hari Om and greetings from Nashville. For the past 3.5 years, on Monday nights at 9 p.m., I teach in a space called Parenting Culture. And my first and foremost sharing in parenting culture is to create a culture that you are a seeker and then you are a parent. If one can identify with being a seeker before they identify with being a parent, they'll be better, they'll be the best. That same vision relates to enhanced Seva training. If you can identify with being a sadhaka before you are a sevaka, you'll be better, you'll be the best. As I continue, you're all looking at me too intently. You can hear me and see me enough. Do I have ketchup on my face right now? And that's where the word enhance comes in and makes sense. If you replace the word enhanced with sadhana, and you replace the word training with culture, this community is developing a culture, following a culture that us engaging in sadhana before seva is the best for us and those we commune with. And this has worked. In our culture, the 12th samskara is called Samāvartana. If you open up this, the etymology of this word is sam, S-A-M, which means well. Avartana means return. In other words, one has changed, one has grown, one has evolved. I met with all 62 seekers who have been part of Enhanced Seva Training 1.0. And then I had a exit one with all those who are graduating and deferring as well. And so many shared that they have become better listeners. Before, when they were engaged in Seva, it was very themselves-centered, but now they're becoming student-centered. Others have shared with me that before, it was like they had blinders on in the classroom, in the organization. They feel like they weren't even teaching until Enhanced Seva Training showed them what they don't know and how they can grow. I'm saying worked in the past tense, but I'm also sharing this will work in the future tense. Our team is going to screen share a code of ethics now. This is our personalized map on how we can and will continue to remember sadhana before seva as we engage in communing with others. All of you will naturally be gifted this, but this is the vision, the mission, and the action statements for what it means to follow dharma, facilitate dharma, and felicitate dharma. One aspect I do want to highlight is the instrumentship, which is nimittata, to really feel you are an ambassador of the Sadguru Shishya Parampara. So this has worked. This will work. Thank you, team. What are we all doing this Thursday morning? I welcome all of our students. I welcome all of our students' families and friends to a celebration of our students. Our students have engaged in 160 hours of training. If you take a typical course like Amrita Bindu Upanishad or Mohamudgara, that's 32 hours. You've completed more than 5, or you have completed 5 of those courses through these past 42 weeks. And Asika was sharing me, this is like 4 semesters of being at a university. You all went back to school with your leather jackets and preparing to go out and so on. Everything that has happened with 62 students who have been part of enhanced Seva training. 44 are graduating. 12 are deferring. 6 were unable to be part of either. But there's another opportunity that I will share in terms of enhanced Seva training 2 at the end of our graduation. These 62 students were organized by 9 pod facilitators. These pod facilitators / coordinators were really the front line of enhanced Seva training. I'm reading to you whom they are by name alphabetically. Ananya from Buffalo, Annapurna from Seattle, Jignyasa from Alpharetta, Zui from Albany, and Zui was the pod's pod. That didn't make any sense, but if they were the coordinator, she was the coordinator of the pods. And I would often joke in our meetings, if all of you are the coordinators, then Zui is sort of the vice president, but then I get to be her coordinator. So I'm the president in this lineage. Pankaj from Cleveland, Prema from Houston, Rachna from Atlanta, Shikant from Orange, and Vasavi from Seattle. So these were our pod coordinators, and they were guided by our training ambassador circle. We have 6 strong seekers who are part of our training ambassador circle. Again, in no particular order. Anvita from Milwaukee, Vinay from Philadelphia, Zui from Albany, Vidya from Orange, Vignesh from Baltimore, and Annapurna from Seattle. And this training ambassador circle was guided by our guides like Shashikalaji and Sumanji and Shankarji, and so many others who really care about all 62 of our students. So again, welcome and congratulations in advance for all of you completing or working on completing enhanced Seva training. I will continue to speak intermittently as we go through our graduation. I'm now inviting Vinay to come and share his why on enhanced Seva training. And Vinay is really the science behind enhanced Seva training. In a few days, he'll be completing his PhD in education. And we're fortunate that we have such access to him. Vinay.
Hariom Vivekji, Hariom everyone. It's so exciting to be with all of you here at the completion, at the graduation of our first cohort of enhanced Seva training. Speaking a little bit on why enhanced Seva training. There are so many programs that could have been offered. So why this? Why did we do this? Why did we organize this? Why did you all join this for this year? Naturally, the seekers who have completed this program already know this. This is more for the family and friends who are here to understand what they dedicated themselves to for an entire academic year. All teachers who work for the spiritual education of youth all have the best intent. Anyone who wants to make the lives of children better using this wisdom of Vedanta, using the science of happiness, has the right intent, which is to serve, to give, to love, and to make the lives of youth, and really the lives of those youth for their entire lives, to make that better. However, most teachers who work for the spiritual education of youth do not have the best training. This is something that has been observed throughout multiple generations, that I've observed personally in my work as a professional educator and in my work as a Bala Vihar teacher and in many other ways. Can everyone hear me clearly? Yes, good. And so there's that desire to serve, but when it comes to teaching, when it comes to connecting, to inspiring our youth, that desire alone is not enough. Because the reality is that while that desire is so noble, training is needed for teachers to connect with youth. There's no other way. There are best practices, there are frameworks, there are many disciplines in teaching that once those are known and studied, that can enhance one's teaching and can enhance one's seva. In the secular world, I have gone through this and several others here have gone through this. To become a professional teacher often requires 1 to 2 years of dedicated study and practice. And so Vivekji asked this question, we as training ambassadors asked this question, why is it not similar for those who teach spiritual knowledge? This is the most important subject, and yet often the least training is given for this. And so out of these questions is how enhanced Seva training was born. That those who work with youth week in, week out, need the tools and techniques to match that attitude of service. The attitude is so excellent, the training needs to be excellent as well. Because our youth deserve excellent teachers. That has to be the standard. Our youth deserve excellent teachers who are always moving towards more and more excellence. And that, I think, is what we have in this virtual room with us right now. We have 60 some dedicated, sincere, inspired seekers who, over the course of these 42 weeks together, have truly, truly, truly dedicated themselves and pushed themselves to become better teachers, better sevaks, and it has been truly inspiring to be here with all of you. And so I'll now hand it over to Zui to discuss the sort of scope and breadth and depth of what this training gave and what was accomplished this year in enhanced Seva training. Ariam, thank you.
Thank you, Vinay. And before Zui shares, Vinay cares so much about Sanatana Dharma and this succession plan, as does Zui. Zui has a master's in social work. And I share that because Vivek may know a little bit about Vedanta, but the people who really have facilitated enhanced Seva training are those who know about Vedanta and the science aspect of it as well. Many of you shared with me that one of the best parts of enhanced Seva training was learning about neurodiversity. And Zui was someone who was very insistent in a good way that we learn about this. And thinking more about the succession plan, all of our Vedantic leadership student training students are here too. 35 have been accepted, and they're all joining us to just feel the power of what such training can do. Zui?
Hari Om Vivekji, Hari Om everyone. And no, it's been very meaningful year. A lot of learning with everyone and grateful. And then we always start with, I guess, Om, all Vedanta. That's our foundation. And Akshay, I hope this put together an image for us to just quickly get a scope. A lot of our family members are here to just see what was done in this year. So we're starting with Vedanta, and then we apply enhanced Seva training lens to it. And then with Vinay's lot of diligence and dedication that these 5 themes were developed. How can we be inclusive teachers? How can we really be rooted in philosophy? How can we be centered towards our students as well as evolve simultaneously? So throughout the year, we were learning through these 5 themes. And what was it for? To internalize, to ideate, and to implement what we are learning. And how was it done? We were all sort of expected to attend 1 hour of Vedanta class weekly, at least. That offered us guidance and rootedness. We had one with Vivekji at least twice. That led to about 33 plus more hours. Then we had Thursday masterclass, morning time. We had learning management system to reinforce our learning, some reflection through connect the dots, and we were practicing, observing, and dedicating with our pods in small group on a monthly basis, doing Seva activities. And of course, most of us were teaching on a weekly basis, practicing quite a lot. So that's about 160 hours subtotal of what Vivekji said. And a lot of dedication, a lot of practicing to really live up to what we are believing in. So that's a bit of scope of enhanced Seva training for us to get a sense. And Vinay, you're going to lead us into the next part. Oh, and then he's going to put a link for us in chat for us to think about very deeply in one sentence what enhanced Seva training meant to you. Like we reflect for a moment, go on Mentimeter in chat, and type it up for us all to see.
And all of the family members and friends that are joining, you can also write what this has meant to you in the changes you felt from your family member, from your friend. So Zui's talked so much about the what of enhanced Seva training. What has it felt like? Please share in the link that Vinay has put in the chat.
As everyone's responses comes in, please also just look at the screen and see what everyone is sharing. Lots of really lovely insights here. So it looks like we have a good amount of responses. So I'll just sort of scroll up so that we can just read them at our leisure. And then I'll come back down. For those of you who were not in this training this year and are joining for our graduation ceremony today, just look and reflect on the depth and the level of inspiration that our ESD seekers have and are sharing and we're immersed in for this academic year. it looks like our very last response here is discipline, and that feels like a very fitting note to transition away from. I'm sure all of our seekers will still wake up at 6:30 a.m. on Thursdays, right, for our own sadhana, but I wouldn't be surprised if anyone is sleeping in a little bit once the sessions are. Yeah, I know it requires a lot of discipline to do that for 42 weeks, and as I've said to all of you in past sessions, we are also inspired by all of you. The discipline that you all showed, the sincerity and commitment. Um, it has really been a two-way level of inspiration, what we get from Vivekji and then what we get from all of you. And so I know on behalf of the training ambassadors, we are all so privileged to have been with you this past year. Vivekji, we can transition whenever.
Yes, this is so beautiful. Both the idea and the sharing from everyone. The mode response I saw was intentionality. And I've learned this myself and I'm sharing with everyone. Without intention, there is no evolution. Some of us have been teaching Balivera for 25 years, 20 years, 2 years, whatever it may be. But if I'm not intentional about teaching in the classroom, then I'm not evolving. What a game changer enhanced Seva training can be for all of us. Now our team will introduce some of the friends and family, as well as students who are going to directly share their feelings about enhanced Seva training. Team, please introduce away.
The amazing part of working with pods and doing Seva with you all is you get to hear a lot of things. And then it's like even the students, you traveling and you hear like, this teacher did this, that teacher did this, and that spark. So we have Kavi today, Rishu's son, who gets to learn from Rishu, probably sharing how Rishu has improved. I'm not sure.
Yes. Hariom, everyone. I'm Kavi Mahalha, and I'm Rishu's son. I'm also a student in his Shankara class for the 7th and 8th graders, which is co-taught by Venkiji. I felt that my dad has learned a lot when it's come to Vedanta, which he applies for Chinmaya and at home. At the beginning of the year in Chinmaya class, the class did not feel very interactive, and the students and I were not really grasping the information. But towards the end of the year, I found the lessons taught by Venkiji and my dad were more organized and interactive, which made the class something I looked forward to. At home, my dad has also made morning run smoother by starting the day off with meditation. Thank you.
Right on, Kavi. Thank you for sharing. And as Rishu will read in the chat, we know your dad made you say that, Kavi, and your dad was nervous about whatever spontaneous points you were going to share. Be well, Kavi. Congratulations, Rishu. Next.
And as we support our students, it reaches our family too. So we have Ram joining today, Ram Rajgopalan from India, I believe, sharing his experience as a spouse of an enhanced Seva training student.
Hariom Vivekji, Hariom everyone. I think what I really found inspiring was that Vidya was looking forward to the all the different forums that the team is connecting. Some of these times are very early for her, but she could hardly sleep and she would be up very, maybe 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning. And that gradually started, sinking in where, she would stay up after she got up as well and continue with the sadhana. Definitely, Vivekji had mentioned that, most of the students became better listeners. So, certainly we could relate to that in our house. And, we felt that this was, something, this gave us the courage to, take up silence retreats, for instance, being able to really be there, be in the silence and go through those retreats. Certainly, I think there was another great step. And I think she started becoming more and more pragmatic as well. Where there is a lot of emotion that goes into in the family, in the workplace, in the society. But as the training sunk in, and as she was communicating with our kids that she was guiding, there's we could really see the impact of that. So it is wonderful to see the transformation as in Vidya, and really appreciative of all the effort that everybody put in.
Thank you for joining us from Bharat, Ram. And I see Vidya's here, obviously, and Sadhana's here too. Sadhana is actually a student of Vedantic leadership training now. So how cool that her mother's done one training and she's now doing this training. I have 2 young kids. Today's Shuka's birthday, actually. So I'm taking an early flight tomorrow to go back for Shuka's friend party. I wasn't invited to the family party. So anyways, Vidya and Ram have 2 teenage daughters. And I'm told that it can be a very challenging period. And for someone to become an active listener, just the ramifications of that is so profound in the family. So in the family, outside of the family, lovely to hear. Team.
Next, we have Anita from Seattle. She was up 3:30 a.m., all classes, full attendance, 100%. And I did not see her snoozing either. So Anita, please share your thoughts.
Hariom, everyone. I don't think I have enough words to express the impact ESC has had on my life this past year. It has been the cornerstone and instrumental in deepening my spiritual sadhana, and I can see benefits of it in all walks of my life, be it becoming a more confident facilitator, more efficient at work, and has improved my relationships both at home and people around me. From a confident facilitator perspective, ESD gave me the necessary toolkits that empowered me to personalize the spiritual sadhana, and as Vivekji said, to teach as a student. And so that helped me, the lesson planning and learning how to communicate gave me the necessary tools to be more intentional with my lesson planning with the adult study group that I teach, and I enjoyed my sessions a lot more, and I could see that I was able to make it a lot more engaging for the people as well, and they did stop by saying that it has inspired them to continue their spiritual sadhana even after the adult study group. So that was very heartening for me to get that feedback loop as well. And opportunity to be a facilitator in the Amrita Bindu study group also helped me be a more active listener and be in a better position to understand the diverse perspectives of various different people and how they resonate or relate to the teachings. And that also helped me meet them and from their level uplift them and see how share my experiences as well. So I think it has helped me become a lot more intentional with my own manana and deepen my reflections as well. And benefits in other aspects of my life, it has definitely helped me discipline this body and mind to be consistent and being able to train myself to wake up early, which I'm not an early riser, so it was difficult initially, but it has been worthwhile, because if I had not tried it and gone through it, I wouldn't have realized how magical it is to do your spiritual sadhana at this hour. And it sets the right tone for the rest of the day, where I'm able to carry on that inner peace in all aspects of my life and be more efficient at work, be more accepting of people, so that may improve my relationships with everybody. So people do stop by and say that, I don't know how can you be so smiling and energetic throughout the day, because currently my work team that I'm in is extremely chaotic and stressful, but I can see that I'm not getting stressed internally, and I'm able to handle it with inner poise and grace. And I think it wouldn't have been possible without the enhanced Seva training, everything else that came with it, Amrita Bindu Mission, Upanishad, and meaningful more. And that has been instrumental in me being consistent, waking up at 4:40. And now I cannot think of not waking up at 4:30. So it's like, it's just natural. So I'm extremely grateful to Vivekji and all the Sevaks here for giving me the opportunity. And I'm hoping that I can be an instrument in serving others.
Thank you, Anita. And all family and friends can share in the chat. For Anita, 4 a.m. is not possible because she's up before that. For some people, 4 a.m. is not possible, but because it doesn't exist. They only wake up at 6 a.m., 6:30 a.m. So we appreciate that discipline. That was one of the key words in our cloud. And I really appreciate how Anita was sharing that this has helped her professionally. By show of hands, all those in a profession, how many of you have felt enhanced Seva training has helped you professionally? Perfect. So some of your paycheck you can direct back to this community as part of your training. You think I asked that accidentally? And one more point about where Anita's from Seattle. In Seeker to Facilitator, we had 2 from Seattle who had joined. Now we have multiple teachers who have joined enhanced Seva training. It's lovely when centers work together with such training. You got to hear Kavi talk about not just his father, but his co-teacher too. That is Venkatesh. In Boston, in Cleveland, in Pittsburgh, so many centers where lots of people are training together makes that whole center different. Team?
So when you get a chance to interact with Kirtana, you will really feel the amazing reflectiveness coming out of her each and every action. Last time I was walking with her, she showed me, do you see that Orion constellation? That looks like Bhagwan Shiva's Damaru. So let's hear from Kirtana.
Hari Om Vivekji, Hari Om everyone. Thank you Vivekji and the team for giving me this opportunity to share, and also for creating this community where I could learn to be a better Sevak. Like Vivekji was saying, it starts with sadhana. In the last few weeks, as enhanced Seva training was coming to a close, I was thinking back as to why I joined the training program in the first place. And I realized it was because Vivekji told me to join, and that was pretty much the only reason. And also I had taken a break from Balivihar teaching the year prior, and I felt like I needed to know what it was to be a teacher again. And I felt like this year was the best year I've ever been involved with Balivihar. I have really understood the material, but also I made sure it's being delivered to the students in the best way. And I have to thank Vinayji and Zuiji for giving us all the material and toolkits in order to understand what the students need and what's the best way for them to learn. Over the last few weeks as well, I was thinking how, with the help of Meaningful Mornings, how my identification has actually shifted. Initially, I felt like prior to this training, I was identifying so much with being a Sevak and being a Balivihar teacher and everything I do. My identification became so strong that I felt like I wasn't considering those around me. I just wanted to get my work done, make sure it was the best quality work I could do. And through this training, I've realized that's not always what we can do. All we can do is give our best, make sure we are happy and fulfilled with the effort we do, and not really project that onto others. I'm really grateful for this space and community where I could learn about what it is truly to be a Sevak, not results-based, but just efforts-based. So I'm really grateful for that. And I remember at the beginning, check-in 1-with-1, Vivekji had mentioned this program is not just for Balivihar teachers or Sevaks, and not just apply it in those settings. It's to apply it in all situations. And again, based on my identification, I wasn't able to do that. I was thinking how to do lesson planning. How do I teach? Sundays, well, how do I prepare for that? And slowly I started to realize that I was unintentionally applying what I'm learning to other situations with my parents, with my friends. And I think when I realized that, it was because I wasn't intentionally trying to practice. I was just trying to understand what we were learning in all our classes and in enhanced Seva training. And as I unintentionally was able to internalize it, I was able to externalize it and facilitate it with others as well. So I think it's the practice that is most important than and understanding than actually trying to force something that we're not trying to be. So thank you so much once again to all our guest speakers and the lectures. They were really great, the pod facilitators and the team for creating such a amazing space. Thank you.
Thank you, Kirtana. And I know the center in London and your family is proud, as are we. We're happy that you're moving to Niagara to help share your training with our community also. Anyone else who would like to share in the chat, you're welcome to. I'm checking in with our team. We're continuing on. Our family and friends sharing is completed. So now as we reflect on today being a very special day in lots of ways, starting with your Samāvartana, but historically, we all only know each other because of our Sadguru Shishya Parampara. And for us, our Sadguru Shishya Parampara has started with Puja Swami Chinmayananda. That's where that which is abstract and far away became real and close. Today is Puja Swami Chinmayananda's Jayanti. It is the day that his body was born, is born. We are now going to offer Aarti to Puja Swami Chinmayananda, Puja Swami Chinmayananda, and next month we will to Puja Swami Tejomayananda too. So all who have their Aarti thalis ready, you can direct this towards an altar, and maybe our team can screen share an image if that's possible. If it's not possible, no worries, no worries. Everyone is working hard. So please offer Aarti, or please listen to Aarti. Definitely feel Aarti. And Vinay, who's trained in lots of ways, you'll get to listen to his training in Bhava. Vinay, whenever you're ready.
आरती श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरु की दिव्य रूप मूर्ति करुणा की आरती श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरु की दिव्य रूप मूर्ति करुणा की आरती सद्गुरु की चरणों में उनके शांति समाये शरणागत की भ्रांति मिटाए पाप ताप संताप हरण की आरती श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरु की आरती सद्गुरु की वेद उपनिषद गीता को गाया धर्म सनातन फिर से जगाया शुद्ध नीति प्रीति शंकर की आरती श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरु की आरती सद्गुरु की सिद्धबाड़ी की तपोभूमि में नित्य विराजे गुरु हमारे भक्त हृदय आनंद स्रोत की आरती श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरु की आरती सद्गुरु की आरती सद्गुरु की बोलिए श्री सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय.
For us to reflect on the Sadguru Shishya Parampara. As someone who's been deeply involved in enhanced Seva training, I physically never met Puja Swami Chinmayananda, but it shows how mystical having access to these teachings, to this culture is. Almost all of us haven't met him yet. Our lives have been transformed by someone we physically never met, maybe until the past decade we didn't even know about. As someone who teaches in a relative way, all I would like for my students to be is to be happy. Students, the people I work with, my own family. And I know Pujaswami Chinmayananda is very proud of everyone. Our guides, our training ambassador circle, our pod coordinators, our students. And all he wants from us is to be happy and to be helpful. Now, zooming into the helpful aspect, we are now going to chant the Chinmay Mission Pledge. We're going to sing the Chinmay Mission Pledge. And Dwija is going to lead us as this is being shared, really zoom into which part of the pledge do you need to work harder on. None of us are perfect. We're definitely not perfect in all facets of the pledge. Today is Seva Day. What an opportune day to complete enhanced Seva training. So sing the pledge, feel the pledge, plan the pledge. Dwija, whenever you're ready.
Family, bound to each other with love and respect. We serve as an discipline, ever ready to fight against all low tendencies and false values. The noble life of sacrifice and service, producing more than what, giving more than what we take. We seek the Lord's grace, virtue, courage, and wisdom. May thy grace and blessings flow through us to the world around us. Lords, and devotion to the people is devotion to the Supreme Self. Responsibilities, give us the ability and courage to fulfill them. Om Tat.
We know our responsibilities, and hence Seva training has given us the ability. Now, where does that courage have to come from? That's your own willpower. And as we complete our Samāvartana Samskara ceremony, everyone can hear me and see me 100%? Okay. Now, for all of the family members, friends who are gathered with our enhanced Seva training student, this is the you getting your diploma. This is the Mangal Sutra being tied. So this is our Vijaya Tilaka. So if I'm beside my student right now, then if you can hold that Aarti Thali and take the Chandan and or the Kumkum, and with your right hand ring finger, you can put that in the Chandan, ideally Chandan first, which is the sandalwood paste, then the Kumkum, which is the red powder. I'll keep things simpler. And then the Akshata, that's the rice. So with your right hand ring finger, put some near the their eyebrow area, and then go up with it. Then after that, you can put some kumkum on that same spot. And then finally, you can offer some akshata or rice. The chandan is symbolic to have a cool mind. The kumkum is symbolic to have a clean mind. And the akshata is symbolic to have a cheerful mind. You have trained in having a cool and clean and cheerful mind. Be reminded to never veer from this. And now let's look at each other. Everyone come close and smile, and I love how you put your own tilak on. I did too. Right? Courage comes from within, not from the person next to you. So I love how independent all of us are. So everyone come close and smile. And now also look at us. This is our graduation photograph. That's coming, but then we'll take another one too. Oh, look how sweet this is. soon we're gonna have our own ashram, and this will be put on our ashram. Like when I graduated from high school, now when you go to my high school, my photograph is still there. This will be placed at our ashram. Somehow a lot of you don't look like this at 6:30 at 6:30 a.m. What happened? That is very, very, very beautiful. Our training ambassador circle, they're such yes people. I come up with all of these random difficult ideas and they just make it possible so awesomely. Thank you. This will be sent to all of our students. Now let's get a live graduation picture. Okay, so everyone come forward. Whoever is smart, please start screenshotting all 3 screens, okay? And then we'll shift to the next part. Tell us when you're done because this is sort of awkward. Okay, I think we're done. Yes, it doesn't take that that long. Yes. Okay. Yes, congratulations in so many ways. Your formal congratulations in completing enhanced Seva training. And those who are deferring, you will complete this. Those who haven't, we're almost getting to the point where we're going to discuss enhanced Seva training 2.0. This sort of training in our recent history started with seeker to facilitator. At that time, we had 14 students who had graduated. Many of them are joining now. How many of you graduated from seeker to facilitator? Yes, you can see Prema, Rupa, a lot of our pod coordinators. From that came enhanced Seva training. How many of you are graduating from enhanced Seva training? So many. We went from 14 to 62. From this has come Vedantic leadership training. This is a specialized training for those who are younger to lead themselves and lead in whatever field they're going to eventually become established in. We have seekers joining us from Singapore and from Bharat, from the UK, all over America and Canada. So this is their preliminary orientation. All those in Vedantic leadership training, please put your hand up. We see Apar, Pooja, Akshay, so many. With that, I'm inviting one of our Vedantic leadership training team members, Harika, to share some thoughts on VLT.
Hariom Vivekji, Hariom dear seekers. Can you all hear me okay? Okay, perfect. As Vivekji mentioned, my name is Harika and I'm a member of the VLT Seva team. And it's my honor today to welcome all of the VLT participants as we embark on this transformational journey together to become insightful, resilient, and service-driven leaders. As I've reflected the past few weeks on what it means to be a Vedantic leader, I've tuned into 2 themes, also shared in Meaningful Mornings by Vivekji: humility and inspiration, which I hope you will all tune into as well. As we look at this EST cohort graduating today and look forward to the inaugural VLT cohort, I am humbled by the dedication of the seekers and Sevaks I see before me, and more importantly, I'm humbled by the incredible grace of Bhagwan and Guru have shown us. We're so fortunate to have these incredible opportunities and blessings showered upon us with minimal barriers, and to be part of this great community. As such, we should also remember to be inspired by this grace and these blessings so that we can demonstrate steadiness and dedication to this path of yoga and strive to truly feel that we are Bhagwan's instruments carrying out Bhagwan's will. In my short time as a Sevika on this team, I've been able to experience my small sincere efforts and our team's small sincere efforts magnified through Bhagwan's grace and coming through in the 35 young leaders who are embarking on the VLT journey today. I'm also looking forward to the incredible satsanga with these VLT participants, learning from each other and supporting each other in our evolution. So once again, congratulations to the EST graduating cohort and welcome to the VLT cohort. And I'm again floored by how connected we are and how this is all happening. As I was planning this brief remark, the Chinmay Mission pledge spoke to me, and we heard that delivered beautifully by Dvija. So I just want to echo a few lines with a simple prayer that can serve as guideposts for us all. May thy grace and blessings flow through us to the world around us. We know our responsibilities. Give us the ability and courage to fulfill them. That's it.
Yes, Harika. And for all of you who may not know, Harika is a graduate of Enhanced Seva training, and now she's taking up the further commitment of being part of the Vedantic leadership training team. This will be the final thoughts that we will share in our graduation, is that sentiment of, may thy grace and blessings flow through us to the world around us. Out of the 44 students who are graduating from Enhanced Seva training, 25 have committed to doing local Seva, but more so national Seva, international Seva. When one thinks of Vedantic leadership training, there's students from around the world. Same with Enhanced Seva training, same with Meaningful Mornings that will begin shortly. This is not limited to a mandir or a center or a city. So 25 have committed to pushing forward with life lessons, this really dynamic offering that will keep on giving. And I'm encouraging all those who are not part of this 25, really even those who are deferring their graduation, remember Enhanced Seva training. Remember the grace that has flowed through you, and share this with the world around you to help people be happier. My friend and I were chatting about how there's just such little emphasis on happiness now in schools and workplaces, on the streets. And so this is the part we have to play to emphasize that EQ, that SQ. Our community has lots of diverse and deep offerings. Vedantic leadership training being one, a new book on samskaras being another, having a retreat center being another, and on and on and on. With this, we're now going to shift into Enhanced Seva training 2.0. You were the beta version. Now finally we've reached the alpha version. The applications for Enhanced Seva training 2.0 will start a week from today. One difference that's going to happen in 2.0 versus 1.0, we are going to accept less applicants, less. And those who do apply will have to engage in more application. They will have to teach on a regular basis, particularly to youth. So with Enhanced Seva training 1.0, we let anyone in. but with Enhanced Seva training 2.0, we're not going to let everyone in. There's going to be more rigor in the application and in the acceptance. I'm encouraging all of you who are in our Pittsburgh centers, Boston centers, London centers, Houston centers, etc., really Alpharetta centers, and I can keep on going. Spread the word about this opportunity, because I feel last year the applications filled up fast. This year is going to be filling up even faster. All right. So I'm reviewing our Samāvartana, and then anyone who wants to share any final thoughts, they can, and then we can all transition into Meaningful Mornings. I'd started off sharing that Enhanced Seva training is for us to be better seekers, because then we'll become better speakers. In all of this, it has worked, it will keep working. The code of ethics. Print this out and keep it where you look a lot. Keep it at your workspace or where you study. There have been guides, and there have been training ambassadors, and there have been pod coordinators, and all of our students invested for so long. 160 hours is a long time. Vinay spoke about the why of Enhanced Seva training. Zui spoke more about the what of Enhanced Seva training. All of you spoke about what this felt like. The discipline, the intention, the system. One of you wrote relief. Who feels relief during a training? But that's what this training has been like. Then we had lots of family members and friends share about how people have changed at home, in the classroom, in the workplace. We got into the rituals of this ceremony where we remember that we only know each other because someone like Pujaswami Chinmayananda felt his blessings and started the flow to the people around him. Our Chinmay Mission pledge is emphasizing our responsibilities. The courage comes from within. That's why we put our own tilaka on. And then Vedantic leadership training. I'm really happy with Vedantic leadership training. I'm really happy with our application pool. I know so many of those who are joining personally. And when you get into your professions, your relations, whatever you get into, you're going to be much, much, much better. Those who are continuing to serve in enhanced Seva training through life lessons, etc., thank you. I've always shared with people who serve with me the notion of you should do some local work and you should also do some national work. Both are required. Otherwise, we become too small in our seeing and acting. And Enhanced Seva Training 2.0, the applications will start soon, and the open house, open home date will be given to everyone soon too. I offer my prayers to Bhagwan Krishna. We are fortunate in Sanatana Dharma that we have countless icons of divinity. Of late, I've really been feeling Bhagwan Krishna and his association with a Gurukula. Enhanced Seva training has been like a Gurukula. I offer my prayers to him to continue to grace us to have a pure mind and a clear intellect. By doing so, we will evolve to feel Bhagwan Krishna. And once we feel Bhagwan Krishna, we'll be able to live like he did. Everywhere he went, everyone he interacted with became better. They became stronger. They smiled more. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. I'm looking forward to being with all of our students next week as you present life lessons to me and our training ambassadors. I'm thanking all of you in advance. Many, many, many of you have offered dana in significant ways. And to all of the family and friends who have joined us for Samāvartana, a special thank you on behalf of your family and friends. You being here means a lot to me, to our training ambassador circle, to all of our students. Be joy.